Mark, great to meet you. Tell me, whereabouts are you based?
Hi, Jeff. So we are a dive centre as well as a travel centre. So our actual offices are based in Brighton, but we've also got locations we teach at in central London, in Surrey and Berkshire, in Caterham, and Oxfordshire as well, obviously, as Brighton as well.
Sounds quite a big setup. Excellent. A little while ago, we published a page on Scubaverse about a trip that's coming up for you, a shark trip, and coming up on the 25th of this month. I'd like to talk about that, of course, but first of all, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and oyster diving?
Yeah, sure. So I set up oyster diving just coming up for 16 years ago now. I previously worked in places like Thailand, the Virgin Islands, the Red Sea, and when I moved back to the UK, there was a lot of very diving focused activities going on in the UK, and having just predominantly done warm water diving, I presume that most people actually wanted to dive overseas. So we actually set up a travel arm within the company as well. So I think to this day, we're still the only PADI 5-star IDC centre with a fully bonded travel centre within it. Obviously, within a few months of being back, and I had a go at diving in the UK as well, I actually realised there was some actual great diving still in the UK, but it's not actually for everybody. So that's kind of where we've been going from, so we can kind of cater for everybody.
So you do quite a few UK dive trips. That's good to know. I didn't know that beforehand.
Yeah, so we do the favourite ones like Lundy Island, the Farne Islands, being based down in Brighton as well. There's some great wrecks just off the coast here as well. And for people who have done predominantly blue water diving, they're not really aware of how much great diving there is off our coast. So we've also got our own lake now as well near Gatwick as well, which is really good for training particularly.
Perfect. And what with travel still a little bit dodgy. I mean, Diving UK, of course, is becoming more and more popular, which is great news.
Yeah, we found last year particularly that obviously most people couldn't get away, so they thought they'd try their hand at UK diving, and they were really pleasantly surprised actually how nice it is as well. But it's nice to get away in the warm water still sometimes as well.
Oh, absolutely. I miss it terribly. So the Maldives Project Shark liveaboard trip coming up a little bit later this month. Tell us about it, please.
So we first booked this trip about 2 or 3 years ago, just pre the first lockdown. The idea was that we wanted to go further south to look at Project Shark trip, looking at as many different types of shark species as we could. The main focus was going to be the tiger sharks. The downside of the trip is just because it is so far away from most facilities and things that if anything happened to anybody in terms of COVID, it would be very difficult to get them back into sort of some kind of care, and everybody else would have to self-isolate. So we had to change the itinerary slightly. So we're still going quite far south, but we won't be doing the tiger sharks, unfortunately. But we'll actually compensate. So there are quite a few dive sites where we should hopefully see hammerhead sightings and potentially great hammerhead. And there is always, you never know, still a slight chance of seeing the odd tiger shark if we're really lucky. But we should definitely be able to get to see the usual suspects like the mantas and the big schools of grey reef sharks and everything else. We have got a marine biologist on the boat as well who specialises in sharks as well. So it is still focused around shark diving, which is fantastic.
Yeah, just reading a little bit of the stuff from the what we put up earlier. The aim of the Project Shark is to highlight the global issues facing sharks. So, with your scientists on board, how's that going to manifest itself? Have you got set projects? Can your guests join in?
Obviously anybody who's got a camera can take photos of the sharks. They'll be able to upload them to the various global database that a lot of the shark conservation communities have. Plus then the marine biologists will be doing talks in the evenings as well. about shark conservation and things that we can do even at home. I mean, I was down at my local chip shop the other day, and they didn't call it shark, but it was shark that was definitely on the menu, unfortunately.
That's sad to hear. It's actually shark or shark fin?
Yeah, well, it's huss, I think. So, which is obviously a species of shark, and sometimes they call it rock salmon as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, most chip shops still in this country. You know, we obviously all, you know, look at sort of Chinese takeaway menus when we see shark fin soup. But I mean, this is, to me, it's just as bad. You know, it doesn't taste particularly great. And there are the more sustainable types of fish out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, what kind of people usually go on these kind of trips? I mean,
yeah, I mean, we've got a real mixed bag actually this time. So I met a couple that were based in America a few years ago in the Philippines, so they're joining us, and they're really nice. We've got some old instructors of ours, a guy called Melvin. He's bringing his wife Jackie. She's not a diver, but she will hopefully be able to do some snorkeling as well. So the boat, particularly when in between dives, which should hopefully be some nice snorkeling sites as well. And quite often in the evening, when the lights come on, it attracts the manta rays and the whale sharks, and obviously you can snorkel with them there. We've got quite a few young people as well coming on them. We've got people still relatively new to diving. I mean, obviously because of the strong currents that we'll be doing, which is lots of the sharks aggregate. Most people are kind of at least minimum of advanced open water with sort of around about 40, 50 dives to their name. But we'll have a few people on board to help look after people and hold a few hands. We've got some single people come in, we've got a couple of couples as well. And then there's a few people who've never even been with us before either, so it'll be nice to meet some new people and see some new faces.
sounds quite a mixture. You're not fully booked yet, or are you?
No, so we kind of were almost fully booked, just because of recent events. Some people's circumstances have changed. One of our sort of regular customers, unfortunately, had a brain operation several months ago, so him and his best friend have sadly had to pull out. Another person, their work circumstances have changed as well, so they couldn't afford to go any longer. So yeah, so we've still got, I think it's about 5-6 spaces left to go. So really, it would be a shame for those spaces to go to waste. It'd be lovely if we could find somebody to help fill them, particularly if they're good fun.
Yes, of course. So tell me, if somebody watching this is interested in the trip, how can they find out more about it and book with you?
So the easiest thing to do is either just drop us a quick email to info@oysterdiving.com, or they're welcome to give the office a call. It's a free phone number, which is 0800 699 0243. Or you can go via our Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/oyster diving, or any of the other usual channels. It's pretty much oyster diving on anything, or just Google oyster diving. You can actually do it through our website as well.
Oh, that's nice and easy, and I'll put all that up at the end of this anyway to do that. So, I mean, I suppose that still the greatest worry for people traveling is the COVID issue. So yeah. What are your restrictions or regulations for looking at COVID and making sure it doesn't come on board?
Yeah, okay, so before we travel, within 96 hours of traveling, you have to have a PCR test. And that is one of the entry requirements to the Maldives. The boat itself is, going to be thoroughly cleaned. We will obviously try and tell people to sort of keep socially distanced, particularly before they get on the boat for the week or so beforehand, and just to take a sensible approach on it as well. And obviously, if you've been vaccinated, that goes a long way these days as well. Coming back to the UK, it's much simpler than it was a few weeks ago. There's no restrictions coming back. There's a passenger locator form which we just can complete on the boat. The boat's got Wi-Fi. I'll have my laptop with me as well. So it's just filling that form in, and then obviously just having a sensible approach. If you've got any symptoms and things, we probably would recommend as soon as you sign up to the holiday to take out travel insurance, with COVID cover as well. Life insurance you might need for the sharks.
It's very brave of you to say that.
No, in all my years of diving, I've been diving for over 20 years, and I can't even remember how many species of sharks I've dived with. I actually ended up in the mouth of a whale shark once, and I've never once felt threatened.
No.
Even, amongst the oceanic white tips and things like that, they've got slightly more of a reputation to them. But if you behave sensibly around them, then they're generally sensible around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel more danger walking down the street sometimes than ever I do with sharks.
Yeah, I'd rather be in a sea full of sharks than in the knife crime centre of Europe in East Croydon, to be honest, like I was the other night.
Oh, right. Tell me, the picture behind you, is that the boat?
That is the boat. If I move out of the way, there you go. So that's Blue Voyager. She sleeps 26 people. So we spend the duration of the holiday actually on the boat. We're hoping that we'll be able to get a couple of times to jump off the boat. Quite often we do a barbecue on a sort of deserted island in the evenings. And then following that boat around is a what's called a dhoni, which is another boat, which is the actual dive boat as well. So on the top of it, you've got the sun deck. Inside, you've got a main saloon where you've got massive big TV screens. All the cabins are en suite. Got their bathrooms. There's some double suites on there as well. And it's got a crew, I think, off the top of my head, of about 14 or 15 people. So you're really well looked after. The food on board is amazing. If you're like me and you like things like Thai curries and things like that, they do a Sri Lankan curry, which is amazing. I actually prefer it to the Thai curry. But then for other people, there's more sort of Western diets catered for. If you've got any food allergies or you're vegetarian, all that can be catered for as well.
I am so envious. It sounds like a fantastic trip. Got it. Well,
I have done that trip once before. We haven't done the same itinerary, and it is literally just mind blowing as well. I mean, it's one of the cheaper ways to get to the Maldives as well as doing a liveaboard. I mean, I booked a family of 5 not long ago, and it was doing a resort can be extortionate these days, but it's actually really good value doing it on a liveaboard, and obviously you get to see much better dive sites as well doing it that way.
Are you personally going as well?
I am, yeah. I wouldn't dare put it out there and not do it myself. Yeah, it's one of the main joys of what I do. And it's one of the reasons why I did it in the first place, to be honest.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you have a great trip, which I'm sure you will. And we'd love to get some blogs from you, either while you're out there, when you come back, an article. We'd love to know how it all went. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, I'd be really happy to do that. I'll have my camera with me as well. The marine biologist who's on the boat as well, he's a really good photographer as well, so he'll take photos of the trip. I'll try and do some video clips and things like that, and I'll write a blog article for you guys as well. It'd be a joy to do that. And,
fantastic. Well, Mark, once again, hope you have a great time, and we'll leave it there and talk again sometime soon.
Definitely. Thanks very much as well, and thanks for organising it, and hopefully see you soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Mark. Bye.
Thank you.